Hello, everyone. As we step into 2025, let me ask you a blunt but necessary question. How much longer will you allow stupidity to dictate your life? Now, when I say stupid, I'm not referring to intelligence. I'm talking about the unintentional, self-sabotaging behaviors we carry forward year after year, the patterns we refuse to change, the excuses we keep telling ourselves, and worst of all, the lies we believe about our potential. Understanding the importance of clarity before action is one of the most crucial principles you can adopt in life. The decisions we make, the paths we follow, and the actions we take all shape the outcomes we experience. Yet so often, people act without a clear sense of purpose or direction. They rush into situations, make impulsive decisions, or follow the crowd, only to find themselves stuck, unfulfilled, or worse, headed in the wrong direction altogether. Clarity is not about knowing every single detail of how your life will unfold. It's about having a deep understanding of why you are doing something before you commit to it. Without clarity, action becomes chaotic and aimless. You can be busy every day, working hard, filling your calendar with tasks, and still find yourself wondering why you feel empty or dissatisfied. Clarity is what ensures that your energy and efforts are aligned with your values, goals, and vision. Too often, people make decisions based on external pressures or societal expectations. They pursue careers because someone told them it's the safe option. They enter relationships because they're afraid of being alone. They take on responsibilities they have no passion for because they feel obligated to meet someone else's expectations. The problem isn't just the decision itself, it's that these choices are made without pausing to ask, is this what I truly want? Does this align with who I am and where I want to go? This lack of clarity leads to frustration, regret, and a sense of being trapped in a life that doesn't reflect your true potential. When you act without clarity, you are essentially gambling with your time and energy. Imagine setting out on a road trip without knowing your destination. Sure, you might stumble upon some nice scenery, but you're just as likely to end up lost, confused, or going in circles. Life works the same way. If you don't know where you're headed or why, you're at the mercy of random circumstances, drifting from one thing to another without a clear sense of purpose. Clarity gives you focus. It acts as a filter that helps you determine what's worth your time and what isn't. It empowers you to say no to distractions and yes to opportunities that align with your goals. When you have clarity, your decisions become intentional. You're not just reacting to whatever comes your way, you're proactively creating a path that aligns with your values and aspirations. But clarity isn't something that magically appears. It requires effort. It starts with self-reflection, taking the time to understand who you are, what you value, and what truly matters to you. This means being honest with yourself about your strengths, weaknesses, passions, and fears. It also means being willing to ask the hard questions. What do I want my life to look like? What kind of impact do I want to make? What am I willing to sacrifice to achieve my goals? Self-reflection can be uncomfortable because it forces you to confront areas of your life where you've settled or where you've been living out someone else's vision instead of your own. But this discomfort is necessary. It's the only way to uncover the deeper truths that will guide your actions moving forward. Once you have a clearer sense of your purpose and values, the next step is to align your actions with them. This means being intentional about how you spend your time, who you surround yourself with, and the opportunities you pursue. Clarity doesn't just influence the big decisions in your life, it also shapes the small, everyday choices that determine your habits, mindset, and trajectory. Having clarity before action doesn't mean you'll have all the answers or that everything will go perfectly according to plan. Life is unpredictable and there will always be challenges and uncertainties. But when you have clarity, you have a foundation to stand on, even when things get tough. You have a sense of direction that keeps you grounded and motivated, even when the road ahead is unclear. Another critical aspect of clarity is understanding your why. Your why is the reason behind your actions, the purpose that drives you. When your why is strong enough, it becomes a source of resilience and determination. It gives you the strength to push through obstacles, the courage to take risks, and the discipline to stay committed. Without a clear why, it's easy to give up when things get difficult or to lose interest when the initial excitement fades. Clarity also brings freedom. It frees you from the constant noise of comparison and external validation. When you know who you are and what you want, you stop worrying about what others think. You stop chasing trends or trying to fit into molds that were never meant for you. Instead, you create a life that is uniquely yours, one that reflects your values, priorities, and passions. In a world that constantly pulls you in different directions, clarity is your anchor. It keeps you focused, purposeful, and aligned with what truly matters. Without it, even the best opportunities can lead to frustration and burnout. But with clarity, even the smallest steps can lead to meaningful progress. So before you take another action, ask yourself, why am I doing this? What do I want to achieve? Does this align with my values and goals? When you prioritize clarity before action, you're not just moving forward, you're moving forward with purpose. And that makes all the difference. In a world dominated by fleeting trends, it's easy to feel the pull to conform and chase what seems popular at the moment. Social media, pop culture, and societal expectations bombard us with messages of what's in and what's out, creating a sense of urgency to keep up. But the truth is, chasing trends often leads to an endless cycle of dissatisfaction and a lack of genuine fulfillment. Trends, by their very nature, are temporary. They capture attention briefly and fade just as quickly, leaving behind those who invested their time, energy, and identity into something that was never meant to last. When you spend your life chasing trends, you become reactive rather than proactive. You're not leading your life, you're letting the external world dictate your choices, values, and even your self-worth. You might find yourself constantly asking, what's next? What do I need to do to stay relevant? But this way of living is exhausting because the finish line is always moving. What's considered fashionable or admirable today might be outdated tomorrow. And when you base your identity on external trends, you're setting yourself up for an endless pursuit of something that will never provide lasting satisfaction. Chasing trends also diminishes your authenticity. Every person is born with unique gifts, talents, and perspectives, yet chasing trends forces you to suppress those qualities in favor of fitting in. You may start to mimic others, adopt behaviors or lifestyles that don't align with who you truly are, or abandon your values just to feel accepted or admired. Over time, this can create a disconnect between your outward persona and your inner self, leading to feelings of emptiness and confusion about who you really are. Authenticity requires courage, the courage to stand firm in your beliefs, even when the world tells you to follow the crowd. There's also a significant cost to chasing trends, and that cost is your time and energy. These are two of the most valuable resources you have, and they're limited. When you pour them into following every new trend, you're taking them away from things that matter. Building meaningful relationships, pursuing your goals, and creating a life that reflects your true values. Instead of chasing trends, imagine what you could accomplish if you redirected that time and energy towards something with lasting value. Trends might promise quick rewards or temporary validation, but they rarely lead to long-term growth or fulfillment. Another challenge with chasing trends is that it fosters comparison. When you're focused on what's popular, it's easy to compare yourself to others who seem to embody those trends perfectly. You might start to question whether you're good enough, successful enough, or attractive enough. But this comparison is based on an illusion. Trends often highlight surface-level qualities, not the deeper, more meaningful aspects of life. By measuring yourself against these shallow standards, you risk losing sight of your true worth and the unique qualities that make you who you are. The most successful and fulfilled people are often those who resist the urge to chase trends. They understand that true influence and impact come from being original, not from blending into the crowd. They focus on what matters to them, not what's popular at the moment. They build their lives and careers around their passions, values, and long-term goals rather than short-lived fads. And because they stay true to themselves, they create a sense of stability and confidence that no trend can provide. It's also important to recognize that trends are often driven by external forces, companies, influencers, and industries that benefit from your participation. These forces profit from making you feel like you need to buy, do, or become something in order to stay relevant. By stepping back and critically evaluating these influences, you can free yourself from their control. You can choose to focus on what truly matters to you rather than what others want you to prioritize. Very Breaking free from the cycle of chasing trends doesn't mean ignoring everything new or interesting. It means approaching trends with discernment. It's about asking yourself, does this align with my values and goals? Does this add meaningful value to my life? Or am I just following the crowd? When you make decisions based on your own principles and purpose rather than external pressures, you're no longer at the mercy of fleeting trends. You're in control of your life and the direction you're heading. Resisting the urge to chase trends also creates space self-discovery. When you stop looking outward for validation or direction, you have the opportunity to look inward. You can take the time to explore your passions, define your goals, develop your unique voice. This process might feel uncomfortable at first, especially if the more you embrace your authenticity, the less appealing trends will become, because you'll realize that your worth isn't tied to what's popular or current. It's tied to who you are and the value you bring to the world. The world doesn't need more people who blindly follow trends. It needs people who are willing to lead, innovate, and stay true to their values. When you stop chasing trends, you free yourself to become the person you were meant to be. You gain clarity, confidence, and a sense of purpose that no trend can provide. And in doing so, you set an example for others, showing them that it's possible to live a meaningful, fulfilling life without constantly seeking external validation. So let go of the need to keep up with every trend. Focus on building something lasting, something that reflects your true self and the legacy you want to leave behind. Failure is an inevitable part of life, yet it's often misunderstood and feared. Many people see failure as a sign of weakness or inadequacy, something to be avoided at all costs. But the truth is, failure is not the end. It's a step in the journey of growth and success. It's a powerful teacher, one that offers lessons and insights you can't gain any other way. The key lies in recognizing failure for what it truly is, an opportunity to learn, grow, and become better. The first step in learning from failure is to accept it as a natural part of life. No one achieves great things without encountering setbacks along the way. Whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal goals, failure is a reminder that you're trying, that you're stepping out of your comfort zone and taking risks. It's a sign of effort, and effort is the foundation of progress. When you embrace this perspective, you start to see failure not as a reflection of your worth, but as a necessary part of the process. Recognizing failure also means taking ownership of it. It's easy to blame circumstances, other people, or bad luck when things don't go as planned. But true growth comes from looking inward and asking yourself, what could I have done differently? What choices or actions led to this outcome? This kind of self-reflection requires humility and honesty, but it's essential if you want to turn failure into a stepping stone for success. By taking responsibility, you empower yourself to make changes and avoid repeating the same mistakes in the future. Learning from failure involves more than just identifying what went wrong. It's about uncovering the deeper lessons it has to offer. Each failure holds valuable insights, but you must be willing to dig for them. Sometimes failure teaches you about your strengths and weaknesses, helping you understand where you need to improve. Other times, it reveals flaws in your strategies or assumptions, guiding you toward better approaches. And often, failure teaches resilience, forcing you to develop the mental and emotional toughness needed to keep going when things get hard. One of the most significant lessons failure can teach is the importance of persistence. It's easy to feel defeated after a setback, to think that one failure means you should give up entirely. But the reality is, success rarely comes on the first try. Many of the most successful people in history, entrepreneurs, athletes, artists, and leaders, failed repeatedly before they achieved their goals. What set them apart wasn't a lack of failure, but their ability to persevere. They understood that failure is temporary, but quitting makes it permanent. When you view failure through this lens, it becomes a motivator rather than a deterrent. Another critical aspect of learning from failure is being open to feedback. Sometimes we're too close to a situation to see it clearly. Other people, mentors, colleagues, or even friends can provide valuable perspectives that help us understand what went wrong and how we can improve. However, being open to feedback requires a willingness to listen without defensiveness, to set aside your ego, and focus on growth. Here's what is not always easy, but the insights you gain can be transformative. Failure also teaches the importance of adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and no plan is foolproof. When things don't go as expected, you have a choice. You can cling to your original plan and become frustrated, or you can adapt and find a new way forward. Failure pushes you to think creatively, to explore alternatives you might not have considered otherwise. It challenges you to stay flexible and resilient in the face of uncertainty, skills that are invaluable in both personal and professional life. One of the most overlooked benefits of failure is that it builds empathy and humility. When you experience failure, you gain a deeper understanding of what it means to struggle, to face challenges, and to feel vulnerable. This understanding can make you more compassionate toward others, more willing to support and encourage them in their own journeys. It also keeps you grounded, reminding you that no one is immune to setbacks and that success is never guaranteed. These qualities, empathy and humility, are not just important for personal growth, but also for building strong, meaningful relationships. Finally, learning from failure requires patience and a long-term perspective. In the moment, failure can feel overwhelming, even devastating, but when you step back and look at the bigger picture, you realize that one failure is just a small part of your overall journey. It doesn't define you unless you let it. Over time, the lessons you learn from failure accumulate, shaping you into a wiser, stronger, and more capable person. Every setback becomes a stepping stone, every mistake a building block for future success. Failure is not something to fear or avoid, it's something to embrace. It's a natural and necessary part of growth, a teacher that offers lessons the success story can match. When you recognize failure for what it truly is, opportunity to learn and improve, you unlock its transformative power. You become more resilient, adaptable, and more determined to achieve your goals. So don't shy away from failure. Face it with courage, learn from it with humility, and use it as fuel to propel yourself toward greater heights. The path to success is rarely smooth, but it's in the rough patches that you discover who you truly are and what you're capable of achieving. Investing in self-awareness is one of the most valuable decisions you can make for your personal growth, relationships, and overall success in life. It's the foundation for understanding who you are, what you value, and how you operate. Without self-awareness, it's easy to drift through life, reacting to situations without fully understanding the underlying causes of your behaviors, emotions, or decisions. But when you commit to knowing yourself deeply, you gain clarity, direction, and the ability to make better choices that align with your true self. Self-awareness begins with a willingness to look inward, to examine your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors without judgment or defensiveness. It requires honesty, even when the truth is uncomfortable or challenges the way you see yourself. Many people avoid this process because it feels daunting to confront their weaknesses or insecurities. But self-awareness is not about focusing on your flaws or tearing yourself down. It's about understanding yourself holistically, your strengths, your challenges, your patterns, and the experiences that have shaped you. This understanding is the first step toward growth and change. When you invest in self-awareness, you gain clarity about your values and priorities. Too often, people chase goals or live according to expectations that aren't truly their own. They pursue careers, relationships, or lifestyles that society deems successful without asking themselves if those paths align with who they are. Self-awareness allows you to strip away the noise and identify what genuinely matters to you. It helps you define your own version of success, one that is rooted in your unique passions and values rather than external pressures. A deeper understanding of yourself also helps you recognize patterns in your behavior. Everyone has habits and tendencies that influence how they approach life, some of which may be holding them back. For example, you might notice that you shy away from opportunities because of self-doubt, or that you react defensively in certain situations because of unresolved fears. These patterns often operate on autopilot, but self-awareness brings them to light. Once you recognize them, you can begin to address them and make intentional changes. Self-awareness also enhances your emotional intelligence, which is a critical skill in both personal and professional relationships. When you understand your emotions and what triggers them, you gain greater control over how you respond. Instead of reacting impulsively, you can pause, reflect, and choose a response that aligns with your values and goals. This level of emotional regulation not only improves your decision-making, but also helps you build stronger, more empathetic relationships. That's when people are drawn to those who are self-aware because they exude a sense of authenticity and composure. Another benefit of self-awareness is the ability to identify your strengths and leverage them effectively. Everyone has unique gifts and talents, but many people fail to recognize or fully utilize them. When you take the time to understand what you're good at and what energizes you, you can focus your efforts on areas where you're most likely to thrive. This not only boosts your confidence, but also increases your chances of achieving meaningful success. At the same time, self-awareness helps you acknowledge your limitations. Rather than seeing them as weaknesses, you can view them as opportunities to grow or areas where you might need support from others. Self-awareness also plays a crucial role in navigating challenges and setbacks. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns, and it's easy to feel overwhelmed or lost when things don't go as planned. But when you have a strong sense of self, you're better equipped to handle adversity. You understand your resilience and know what you need to do to get back on track. You can reflect on setbacks without letting them define you, learning from the experience and using it as fuel for growth. This perspective allows you to approach challenges with a sense of purpose and determination. In addition to personal benefits, self-awareness has a profound impact on your interactions with others. When you understand yourself, you're more likely to understand others. You become more attuned to their needs, emotions, and perspectives, which fosters deeper connections and mutual respect. Self-awareness also helps you set healthy boundaries, ensuring that your relationships are built on authenticity rather than people-pleasing or unmet expectations. It enables you to communicate more effectively, resolving conflicts with empathy and clarity. Investing in self-awareness is not a one-time effort, it's a lifelong journey. It requires consistent reflection, curiosity, and a willingness to evolve. Practices like journaling, mindfulness, and seeking feedback from trusted individuals can help you deepen your self-awareness over time. It's also important to be patient with yourself. Growth doesn't happen overnight, and self-awareness often reveals layers that take time to fully understand. But with each step, you become more aligned with your true self and more equipped to navigate life's complexities. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of personal transformation. It empowers you to live intentionally, make choices that align with your values, and build a life that reflects who you truly are. It helps you break free from the constraints of societal expectations and embrace your unique journey. When you invest in self-awareness, you're not just improving your own life, you're also creating a positive ripple effect that touches everyone around you. The more you understand yourself, the more you can contribute to the world with authenticity, purpose, and impact. The people you surround yourself with have an immense influence on your mindset, decisions, and ultimately your future. They shape the conversations you engage in, the energy you absorb, and the standards you hold yourself to. That's why it's critical to intentionally surround yourself with growth-minded individuals. People who inspire you to aim higher, challenge you to grow, and support you in becoming the best version of yourself. These relationships serve as catalysts for personal and professional growth, pushing you to expand your perspective and break through the barriers that might hold you back. Growth-minded people are those who see potential in every situation and every person. They are not content with mediocrity or stagnation, but constantly seek ways to improve themselves and the world around them. When you spend time with individuals like this, their mindset becomes contagious. Their optimism, drive, and resilience begin to rub off on you. You start to adopt their habits, their way of thinking, and their belief that challenges are opportunities in disguise. This shift in mindset can propel you toward goals that previously seemed out of reach. One of the most profound impacts of surrounding yourself with growth-minded people is the encouragement they provide. These individuals are not threatened by your success. Instead, they celebrate it. They cheer you on when you take risks and offer support when you stumble. They remind you of your capabilities when you doubt yourself and push you to keep going when the path gets tough. Mhm. So, in a world where negativity and doubt can often feel overwhelming, having a network of supportive, growth oriented people can make all the difference in maintaining your confidence and motivation. Growth minded individuals also challenge you in ways that encourage personal development. They don't let you settle for good enough. Instead, they ask thought provoking questions, offer constructive feedback, and hold you accountable to your goals. These challenges may feel uncomfortable at times, but they are necessary for growth. Growth rarely happens in comfort zones, and these people understand that. They push you to think bigger, act bolder, and strive for excellence, not because they want to criticize you, but because they believe in your potential. Being around growth-minded people also fosters a sense of collaboration and learning. These individuals value shared knowledge and experiences, and they are often eager to exchange ideas, insights, and perspectives. This creates an environment where everyone benefits and grows together. You may gain new skills, fresh perspectives, or innovative approaches to problems simply by engaging in conversations with them. Their curiosity and hunger for learning inspire you to adopt a similar attitude, encouraging you to seek out knowledge and experiences that expand your horizons. Another key benefit of surrounding yourself with growth-minded people is the exposure to high standards. When you're in the company of individuals who are constantly striving for improvement, it naturally raises your own standards. You begin to aim higher, work harder, and hold yourself to greater levels of discipline and accountability. Growth-minded individuals often embody the principles of consistency, perseverance, and adaptability. Witnessing their commitment to these values can inspire you to adopt them in your own life, leading to significant progress over time. In addition to driving personal growth, being around growth-minded people can also open doors to new opportunities. These individuals tend to be forward-thinking and action-oriented, often involved in projects, initiatives, or networks that align with their goals. By associating with them, you may gain access to opportunities that you wouldn't have encountered otherwise. Whether it's a career advancement, a creative collaboration, or a chance to develop a new skill, these connections can be invaluable in helping you move closer to your aspirations. At the same time, surrounding yourself with growth-minded people helps you maintain a positive and resilient mindset. Life inevitably comes with setbacks and challenges, but the way you respond to them is often influenced by those around you. Growth-minded individuals don't dwell on failures or setbacks. Instead, they focus on lessons learned and the next steps forward. This attitude can be incredibly grounding and empowering, especially when you're facing difficulties. Their perspective reminds you that every obstacle is temporary and that persistence and adaptability are key to overcoming them. To create an environment filled with growth-minded individuals, you have to be intentional. It requires seeking out people who align with the values and goals you aspire to embody. This might mean joining groups, attending events, or participating in communities where personal growth and development are prioritized. It might also mean reevaluating existing relationships and distancing yourself from individuals who consistently bring negativity, discouragement, or complacency into your life. While this can be a difficult process, it's essential to prioritize your growth and well-being. Equally important is recognizing that surrounding yourself with growth-minded people isn't just about what you can gain from them. It's also about what you bring to the table. To attract and maintain relationships with growth-oriented individuals, you must embody the same mindset. Show up as someone who is willing to learn, grow, and contribute positively to others' journeys. Share your own experiences, offer support and encouragement, and demonstrate a commitment to your own growth. Relationships thrive when they are mutually beneficial, and being an active participant in the growth process strengthens the bonds you create. The people you surround yourself with play a significant role in shaping your life's trajectory. When you choose to be in the company of growth-minded individuals, you create an environment that supports and accelerates your development. You become more inspired, more resilient, and more equipped to pursue your goals with confidence and determination. Investing in these relationships is not just about improving your current circumstances, it's about building a foundation for lifelong growth and success. By choosing to surround yourself with people who push you forward, you ensure that you are always moving toward your full potential. Taking responsibility is one of the most transformative actions you can take in life. It's not always easy, nor is it always comfortable, but it is the cornerstone of growth, progress, and personal empowerment. To take responsibility means to own your actions, decisions, and the outcomes they produce. It is the ability to say, "This is my life, and I am accountable for what happens in it." It requires honesty, courage, and a willingness to confront the truth, even when it is difficult to accept. No matter when you take responsibility, you take control. You move from a reactive mindset to a proactive one. Instead of blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck for your situation, you recognize that you have the power to influence your reality. This shift is liberating. It places you in the driver's seat of your life and allows you to steer it in the direction you want to go. Blaming others may feel comforting in the moment, but it keeps you stuck. It takes away your power because it places the solution outside of your control. Responsibility, on the other hand, empowers you to act and make meaningful changes. Taking responsibility doesn't mean you are to blame for every bad thing that happens. Life is unpredictable, and some events are entirely out of your hands. However, what is always within your control is how you respond. Your response determines whether you remain stuck in frustration and disappointment or rise above the challenge and find a way forward. This mindset is what separates those who grow from adversity from those who are defeated by it. And by taking responsibility for your reactions, you reclaim your power, even in the most difficult circumstances. One of the most challenging aspects of taking responsibility is facing your mistakes. Everyone makes them. It's an unavoidable part of being human, but what sets people apart is how they handle those mistakes. Taking responsibility means acknowledging where you went wrong, owning up to it, and making a commitment to learn from it. It's easy to deflect blame or make excuses, but these actions only delay growth. When you take ownership of your errors, you open the door to improvement. You give yourself the opportunity to analyze what happened, understand why it happened, and take steps to ensure it doesn't happen again. Yeah. Responsibility also extends to your successes. Sometimes people downplay their achievements or attribute them solely to external factors like luck or timing. While external factors can play a role, your effort, persistence, and decisions are what ultimately lead to success. Owning your accomplishments is just as important as owning your mistakes. It builds confidence and reinforces the belief that you have the ability to shape your life. Recognizing the role you play in your successes helps you build momentum and encourages you to aim even higher. Another key element of taking responsibility is understanding the impact you have on others. Your actions, words, and decisions affect the people around you, whether you realize it or not. Taking responsibility means being mindful of this and striving to act with integrity and consideration. It's about being accountable not only to yourself, but also to those who rely on you, work with you, or interact with you in any capacity. So when you take responsibility for your role in relationships, teams, or communities, you contribute to a culture of trust, respect, and collaboration. Taking responsibility requires humility. It's not about being perfect or pretending to have all the answers. It's about being honest with yourself and others, admitting when you don't know something and seeking help when needed. It's about recognizing that growth is a process and that taking responsibility is not a one-time event, but an ongoing practice. It means being willing to reflect, adjust, and keep moving forward, even when the path is difficult. The benefits of taking responsibility are profound. It leads to greater self-awareness as you become more attuned to your actions and their consequences. It fosters resilience as you learn to navigate challenges with a sense of agency and purpose. It builds trust as others see you as someone who is reliable and accountable. Most importantly, it gives you a sense of ownership over your life. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for others to change your circumstances or for the right time to act. You realize that the power to create the life you want lies within you. Taking responsibility can also inspire others. When people see you owning your actions and striving to improve, it sets an example. It shows that growth is possible, that challenges can be overcome, and that taking control of your life is worth the effort. Your commitment to responsibility can encourage others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond yourself. It's important to remember that taking responsibility is not about self-criticism or dwelling on past mistakes. It's about learning, growing, and moving forward. It's about recognizing that while you can't change the past, you have the power to influence the future. Every day presents an opportunity to take responsibility for your choices, to act with intention, and to move closer to your goals. Taking responsibility is an act of empowerment. It's a declaration that you refuse to be a victim of circumstance and that you are committed to shaping your own destiny. It's not always the easiest path, but it is the most rewarding. By taking responsibility, you take ownership of your life, your growth, and your potential. You become the author of your story. And in doing so, you create a life that is not only successful, but deeply fulfilling. In conclusion, taking responsibility is the key to unlocking personal growth, empowerment, and true success. It is a mindset that transforms challenges into opportunities and mistakes into valuable lessons. By taking ownership of our actions, decisions, and their outcomes, we shift from being reactive to proactive, giving ourselves the power to shape our lives. Whether in moments of failure or triumph, responsibility allows us to learn, grow, and move forward with purpose. It fosters resilience, integrity, and trust, not only within ourselves, but with those around us. Embracing responsibility is an ongoing practice that requires honesty, humility, and a commitment to continuous improvement. When we take responsibility, we gain control over our futures and inspire those around us to do the same. Thank you for taking the time to reflect on the importance of responsibility, and may it guide you toward a life of growth and fulfillment.